أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Dear friends, welcome to Idea Foundation Forum. Today I am presenting 43rd lecture under the serial program Allah, Quran and Insan. Interested friends can visit ideafoundation.com.pk website or its YouTube channel to watch previous videos or read their papers on the website. In the last session, we discussed the research topic, the man and the nature. Today, we will discuss the research topic, first creation, then procreation, reality of Darwin's theory of evolution. Dear friends, shifting of the man from creation to reproduction process or procreation is a wonderful experience in the history of nature. It may be named as fourth phase of the man's creation. First was the pre-corporal phase when idea of creation was conceived by Allah. Second was the corporal stage when the man was given a material shape with clay. The third phase was when the man was given a personality with spirit. And finally, the fourth stage was when this process of creation of future generations of humanity was assigned to the man, which is called procreation. The Quran describes this journey of human from creation to procreation in ayat 7 to 9 of Surah As-Sajda in the words, وَبَدَأَ خَلْقَ الْإِنسَانِ مِنْ تِينٍ, and began the creation of man from clay. Then, ثُمَّ جَعَلَ نَسْلَهُ مِنْ سُلَالَةٍ مِّن مَّاءٍ مَّهِينٍ. Then Allah made his posterity out of the extract of a liquid disdain. This is procreation. ثُمَّ سَوَّاهُ وَنَفَخَ فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِهِ وَجَعَلَ لَكُمُ السَّمْعَ وَالْأَبْصَارَ وَالْأَفْئِدَةَ. Then he fashioned him in due proportion and breathed into him of his spirit, and he gave you hearing, sight and hearts. The Quranic quotation referring to Allah's immaculate mastery as the creator mentions the creation of Hazrat Adam and the Eve while they stay in the heaven. After their landing on the earth, Allah intended to populate the earth through procreative process. For that, the first couple was blessed with the procreative ability to multiply the reproduction of mankind by mixing the sperm drop of man with the female egg. By this wonderful mechanism, Allah caused perpetuation of reproduction activity as a joint venture of the male and female that provided a strong basis of family institution as well. Dear friends, the verses we just discussed are among the several verses which refer to the direct creation of the first man. The several scientists since the time of Darwin have felt greatly critical of this concept, considering it as unscientific. But the fact is that despite their utmost efforts, None of them could provide an alternative concept that could undermine the concept of the creation of the first man. If Quranic concept of creationism, our first creation, is not accepted, then one will have to accept the absolutely illogical and unscientific idea that life originated merely accidentally, whereas science has proved that even the simplest form of life in a single cell organism is so much complex and subtle that considering it a result of an accident would be an extremely unscientific idea than what the evolutionists think of creationism. If the concept of creationism is not left to traditional prejudices and stubbornness, and once it is accepted that the first entity came into being by an act of direct creation, it would ease to accept that the first member of all species of animal life was created by the Creator's own act of creation. And then from the single soul, its posterity started through different forms of procreation. As Ayat 1 of Surah An-Nisa explains this fact. Listen. Ya ayyuhan nasu attaqu rabbakumul lazi khalaqakum min nafsin wahidat wa khalaqa minha zawjaha wa bassa minhuma rijalan kasiran wa nisaa. O mankind, fear your Lord, who created you from one soul. Focus the meanings. And created from it its mate, and dispersed from both of them many men and women. First of all, one soul. Then from one soul the other partner, other mate. Then variety of the number of their posterity. The believers of the philosophy of accidental creation of the man under Darwin's theory of evolution need to revisit their views on 2 points. Firstly, why such another accidental experience could not happen and mature in the shape of some so developed a creation like the man? Second, is there any other living creature having the same or closely comparable systems of the complex nature that the man has? In numerical terms, a human body is composed of much greater number of constituents than the cosmic universe. This one man contains about 40 trillion galaxies in his body called human cells, whereas the cosmic universe has 2 trillion galaxies at the most. Further that, each human cell, mean galaxy of the human body, contains about 100 trillion atoms in it. No galaxy of the cosmic universe has that much of its numbers. A human contains around 7 octillion atoms. What is octillion? 7 with 27 zeros. Just imagine. A number that could hardly be found in the cosmic statistics. Only a small human brain contains approximately 86 billion neurons. Thus, human mind is another universe created by Allah. Likewise, Every atom contains the same DNA that provides a unique identity to the respective man, and also every atom contains a nucleus which determines the existence of the respective cell. Single common DNA, pervasive in trillions of cells in a human body, symbolizes centrality of command and identity of a human. 98% atoms of a human body are replaced in a year without disturbing its DNA or its nucleus or the nature or the character of the man. These puzzling phenomena invite us to ponder on the divinity of the man's creation. The Quranic quotation made from Surah As-Sajda explains how the earthly body, material body, was equipped with certain powers that accorded the man distinctive status among the other creatures. Just look at those powers. Number one, he was fashioned in due proportion. Number two, breathe into him of his spirit. Number three, and he gave you hearing, sight, and the heart where the soul of man resides. The proclamation that he was fashioned in due proportion indicates that he was blessed with the tremendous psychophysical powers worthy of his role as the vicegerent of Allah. Allah breathed into him of his spirit does not refer to the life because of which a living thing moves, but the essential human characteristics which imbues the man with divine connectivity and a lot of cognitive, speculative, and creative faculties by virtue of which he is distinguished from all other earthly creations and becomes possessor of a personality and self and worthy of Allah's vicegerency. It establishes the spiritual being in the man, which is distinct from his physical being, its ego's introduction in this earthly world. It is Allah's trust, his light, his nur, blessed to the man to guide him in the worldly life, which will return, the soul will return once its physical being perishes. Dear friends, let us have a look again on the last part of the Quranic quotation made from Surah Sajda. Note the words minutely. He gave you hearing, ears, sight, eyes, and hearts. Hearing represents powers of senses, 5 senses. Sight, eyes, represents faculties of mind, or vision, or intellect. Heart is the mansion of the soul. Now just imagine. The Quran separated eyes from the faculty of senses. Eyes from the faculty of 5 senses and related it to vision, which is an activity of intellect. And heart was presented as a separate phenomenon beyond its physiological significance more than 1400 years ago. Just imagine. While science could discover these realities just in the near past. Now, some questions need attention of the evolutionist minds. Can intellect of any species or creature equate with the intellect of the man? How intellect of any creature, whatsoever it may be, could not evolve even by a very fraction of intellectual evolution the man could experience based on the guiding spirit and the intellect he was gifted with by the great designer and the creator. The single and only one accidental experience attached to the human creation by the evolutionists, which could never be repeated second time, is against the character of the nature. Heart, another wonder of the man's creation. The Quran has revealed its immensely huge role in the life of the man beyond its physiological significance. Science just has started very recently probing its neurophysiological dimensions. Until recent times, modern science perceived the heart as merely a pump to regulate the flow of blood in the human body. Now the science has started realizing that the heart is more than an organ of blood circulation system. How these wonders of human life could not be appreciated by the evolutionists. I request the followers of Darwin to ponder upon spiritual and material aspects of human creation simultaneously to appreciate the man's real place in its true perspective. Previously, the brain had been thought to be the control center for the body, sending directions through the nervous systems to different organs, telling them how to behave. But the latest research has brought out this reality that the heart also reciprocates to the brain by sending regular signals to the brain, in influencing emotions, memories, problem solving, and high-level cognitive functions. It is found that the heart has its own network of neurons. The human brain, like all other parts of the body, is made up of cells. One crucial cell type in the brain is the neurons, with the special structure that enable them to communicate with the cells of other organs using electrical signals. A healthy human brain contains approximately 86 billion neurons. Likewise, the heart too has an unknown volume of neurons to communicate with the brain by providing feedback signals. Most recently, scientists are working on the possibility that the heart has its own brain, or it has some decisive influence on the working of the brain and mind. In the context of heart-brain communication, research is getting increasing interest in the areas of psychophysiology, neurocardiology, resonance of heart-brain coherence, heart rhythm, and hormones, etc. Recent research shows that the intrinsic cardiac nervous system has both short-term and long-term memory functions and can operate independently of central neuronal command. Thus, you, the believers of divinity of the first creation and then the procreation, must feel encouraged that the emerging scientific findings are proving the truth of our faith as Allah promised the man. Soon shall we show them our signs in the world around them as well as in themselves, till it becomes clear to them that this Quran is indeed the truth. And we must move forward to disseminate this truth to our non-believing friends with great zeal, confidence, and best knowledge. So, dear friends, we conclude our discussion here. These programs are recorded both in Urdu and English. Their videos can be watched on ideafoundation.com.pk website or its YouTube channel and Facebook. Their written versions are also available on the Idea Foundation's website. Please note code number of this program, Idea 1A R9. All friends are requested to subscribe the Foundation's YouTube web channel for the benefit of this noble cause. Thank you friends for participation. Allah Hafiz.